I play a lot of video games, as you might notice. And I don't just play a lot of video games, like video game to video game to video game. I buy a lot of video games, and I don't necessarily play those right away, or finish them right away. Stop me if you've heard this before. And I mean, listen, it's entertainment. It's fun. It's, you know, relaxation time. None of those things are clean-cut or straightforward. They are messy, and they're individualistic and unique. All of which plays against another very big facet of my personality, which is that I'm very fastidious. Take, for example, the reason for this channel's existence and the circumstances around its rebirth. I'm just a very particular person and detail-oriented, and I've got to know. I have to know things. So something I started doing, I don't know when, it doesn't matter, is making lists. One such list is the games list. That's the title of the video. You had to know we were coming to this. If you're interested in voting on or suggesting what it is I make next on this channel, you can head on over to patreon.com/eganworks and support me at $3 or above, and you will get those rights. You also get access to a community Discord where we talk about new videos and all kinds of fun stuff all the time. Come on through. I made a video a while ago, a really long time ago. When I say a while ago, I don't mean like a week ago, I mean like several years ago. It was called Why I VlogginEgan, and it was me trying to talk about why I vlog, why I make videos like this. And one of the reasons was like having a catalog of my life. I compared it to journaling, and I just like having a compendium that I can go back and point to and say, ah yes, this is what I was doing, or this is how I felt about something, etc., etc. That's very human. I'm talking about it like it's this weird sort of, oh, how strange I am, but that's a very human thing. And so what I want to talk about today is the way that I do that for video games with what I have taken to calling the games list. I was doing this for a while in my favorite iPad app, Paper, calling it my games journal, quote unquote. Very important to get your scare quotes in there, so be sure to almost drop your iPad. So what I would do was, basically it's just one page for every game that I played in the span of a year, and I would also make a little drawing to go along with it. Some of these got really, wow, it started off really intricate, and you can tell where that drops off. But so I've kept this up for, I think, just the last 3 years or so, and I like it. It really helps me kind of organize my thoughts on what I'm currently playing and just keep organized exactly what it is I am currently playing or what I should get back to. And at the end of the year, I like to put together a blog post somewhere of my games of the year, my top 10, you know, my game of the year list. And also for those times where, you know, if you are also someone who owns a lot of games in your Steam library or on Switch or anywhere else, you might get to a point where you have so many games you don't know what to play. This really helps me with that. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, I can go back to the list and look over what it is I played, at least in the last year, and think back to my experience that I had with that, or maybe remember, oh, I was doing that in that game, that piques my interest currently. I would have fun doing that. All of these problems and more are solved by the games list. And yes, I have since taken to writing it down on paper for the past 2 years. For last year and this year, it has existed in paper form in my trusty Hobonichi Techo. And so along with my explanation of what it is and why I do this, and by the way, if you also do something similar or think that this might help you, let me know in the comments so I don't feel so alone and strange. I thought it might be fun to go through and run down the list of games that I have played so far in 2021. I know it's only March, but there's a decent amount of games on this list already, and talk just a little bit like a one-sentence review of my time with that game so far. And here we go. If you want to guess, get your guesses in now, down in the comments below, how many games are on this list already. It is March 29th as I am recording this. There are 31 games on this list that fit the criteria. That's the other thing. I decided that I had to set myself some criteria for what games would make it on the list, because you can bounce into any old game, you know, you can pick up an old Game Boy Advance cartridge, pop into that, oh, now do I have to write that down? So to keep myself from absolutely losing my mind, and to give this some sort of structure, there are 3 criteria. Something brand new that I'm starting fresh, something that I have finished, or something old that I'm returning to but making some kind of material progress in. Okay, with all of that in mind, here now is my games list so far. Number 1, The Crew 2. This is a racing / driving game where you can turn into a car, a boat, or an airplane at will and kind of drive around the country, and that is fun. Everything around it and all the missions I don't really care about. It's really just kind of a fun toy box. Number 2, Lunar Knights. This is a DS game from 2005, 2006. This is a spiritual successor to the Boktai series, my beloved Boktai series, which I talk about all the time. I was going back to it to see where I was. I'm in some kind of final dungeon crawl thing. It doesn't matter. Number 3, Super Mario 35. They made Mario a battle royale game, and you know what? Yeah, sure, it's pretty fun. Number 4, Teardown. It's like Hitman, Minecraft. It's like Hitman Minecraft. Number 5, Outer Wilds. Happy to say this was the year I finished Outer Wilds. Gorgeous, existential beauty. Number 6, Bit Trip Runner. I bought this on Switch in a fit of nostalgia, and also it was on sale and I had gold points, so it was free, and it sure is still that game. Number 7, Stardew Valley. This is a game that's probably going to be on every year's games list until I get so tired of it that I never play it again. I'm in year 3, I have a horse now, I'm making mayonnaise, I got a dinosaur. Number 8, Boktai 2. Somewhere in January or February, I don't remember, I got bit by the Boktai bug again. I've been going back to those games. I want to make something about them, a documentary or a video essay. Boktai 2, I think, might be my favorite. Number 9, Boktai, The Sun is in Your Hand. This is the first Boktai game. I was like, oh, well, I bounced back into Boktai 2. I should see where I am in the first Boktai game. That's a game that has a New Game Plus mode, so I'm kind of going back through. Number 10, Hitman 2. Finally finished the final mission of Hitman 2. I had like half an hour left to go in that. Hitman 2 was fantastic. Number 11, Hitman 3. As expected. Why was I finishing Hitman 2? To play Hitman 3. Not as good as Hitman 2. Some incredible moments. A lot of maps that I probably won't go back to. The ending was really cool, but it's only gonna be really cool once. I'm not gonna replay that again. I don't know. It's mixed. Still extremely good. Number 12, The Old Republic. I'm just gonna keep getting bit by the Star Wars bug over and over again until I die. So yeah, I went back and played some Old Republic. It's a Star Wars MMO. I have never got very far. I'm playing Bounty Hunter right now, and I just go in whenever I want to live in Star Wars. Number 13, Cyber Shadow. Wasn't exactly what I was expecting, kind of just made me want to play The Messenger. Number 14, Picross S. Finally finished Picross S. This was one of the first games that I bought when I first got my Switch in 2018. It's Picross. Number 15, Hades. I fell off of Hades somewhere in November, December last year, picked it back up, finished it. Didn't finish it, I completed a run. That game is perfect. Number 16. Or Boktai 3. I actually managed to snag a complete in-box Japanese copy of this game. It was never localized in English. It's incredible to finally get to play it. Number 17, Microsoft Tinker. This was a game that was included with Games for Windows Live on Windows 7, and I just got extreme nostalgia for that, and finally figured out late one night how to get it to run on Windows 10, and so I found it, and I played it. It's so good. Number 18, Gravity Bone. This is a quick little game, a precursor to another game by Blendo Games, which will be next in the list. I played Quadrilateral Cowboy last year, or the year before, I don't remember because time doesn't mean anything anymore. But I fell in love with it, and I want to do something around it, and so I thought I should play the other games in their library. It's very quick. I started, I finished it. It's very fast. Number 19, 30 Flights of Loving. The next Blendo game. This is what Gravity Bone was leading into. It's very, very cool, very short form. You can play this in a night. It's it's Blendo. I love their vibe. I want to do something with that. Number 20, Super Mario 3D World. Finally, this game came out on Switch. Probably the best Mario game. I played it on Wii U. I'm so glad it's finally on Switch. It's so beautiful. Number 21, Bowser's Fury. This was that add-on sort of tag-along that was released alongside Mario 3D World. It's kind of an open world, kind of, but not really, because open world doesn't mean anything anymore. It's very good. I like what they're doing. It's kind of like Mario Odyssey mixed with 3D World, and it's great. Number 22, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Finally returning to this game after a long hiatus. I bought it in 2019, I think, and boy, that game is weird. Why can't someone just make a good, straightforward Digimon video game? There's been so many Pokemon games. Give the Digimon licenses some, I don't know, I still like it. because it has Digimon in it. Number 23, The Swindle. Roguelike, 2D heist game, very stylized, very addictive loop. I got into it when the move was happening around here, and it was really good to like pour my time and my anxiety into. Number 24, Hyper Light Drifter. This is not the first time I've played Hyper Light Drifter, as evidenced from this print that I've had up on my wall for some time. No, the special edition finally came out physically on Switch. Me and a friend of mine have been waiting for this to happen for a long time, so I grabbed it, and now I had to start it again. It's just, that game is so beautiful. Number 25, Pyre. I started playing Pyre last year and never finished it, and so when I got back into Hades and then watched through the No Clips making of documentary of Hades, and then No Clips making of documentary of Pyre again for the second time, I had to go back to Pyre because I gotta finish that game. Number 26, Valheim. This is a new game, it's in early access. It was highly recommended by like 5 million people on Earth. It's very good. It's like chill, open world, Minecraft, Vikings, but there's missions. I didn't think it was gonna be as chill as it is. It's so chill. That music is so nice. Number 27, Dragon's Dogma. I went back to Dragon's Dogma a couple of weeks ago and realized that the next thing I had to do was the final boss battle. Quote unquote final boss battle. There's more to do after you hit credits. I hit credits, I fought the dragon. That game gets weird, and also I kinda hit a wall, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish it now, because that end is pretty frustrating. Number 28, Final Fantasy VII. I've never played a Final Fantasy in my entire life. I figured maybe it was time, and I figured Final Fantasy VII would be the one if I were to play and like one. I've played like 5.5 hours of it, and I love it so far. Number 29, Ring Fit Adventure. My girlfriend and I decided to get this because we've been inside for a year and we're so out of shape, and when things start to happen again, we don't want to go back into the city and immediately fall into piles of dust. And so we've been doing this every morning, a little bit of exercise to get fit. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. It's actually really good. I'm not a person who exercises. I don't enjoy exercise. I'm really having a good time with this game. I'm enjoying exercising every morning. Number 30, Stellaris. Kind of 4X strategy game in space. You create and manage a space empire, and there's a lot of different options, and they're constantly patching it and like adding new story packs and different mechanics, and I don't know, I'll go back to this every year or every couple of years and just keep playing it because I love space and I love that kind of big grand strategy game. And finally, number 31, the latest game I have played, Later Alligator. Later Alligator just came out on Switch, I think this past week or a little bit before. It's a small, short little point-and-click adventure game style from Small Boo Animation, if you know them at all. I saw a review that was like, if you want to smile, play Later Alligator, and I wholeheartedly agree. It's delightful. Oh, you know what? Actually, I need to add to this list. I'm realizing number 32 is F1 2020. It's the latest iteration of the F1 games until they release F1 2021 as soon as I bought this one. Also, Puzzle Bobble. It's this old Neo Geo arcade game. It's on Switch, also known as Bust a Move. We used to play it a little bit. Dropped the ball here. So there you have it. Those are all the games I have played thus far in 2021. I don't really know what I'm gonna play next. I'm in a really good rut where I enjoy everything that I'm in right now. Disco Elysium has been on my list for a really long time. I gotta get back to and finish Pyre as well, but Final Fantasy VII is kind of my bedtime chill out game right now, and I'm really having a good time with that. Also, this is far from the deepest depths of my organizational brain. There are lists upon spreadsheets for all the games I am currently playing, would like to play, have finished, have to return to, on my wish list. It goes deep. So if you're curious about going into that darkness, that dark pit, let me know that down below as well, and maybe we'll get into it. Otherwise, that's gonna do it. I just wanted to make something short and quick and easy after last video was half an hour of me talking about movies. Thanks for watching. You'll see me very soon. Bye.